Hey, good morning, guys. Welcome back to the Ahn Rho Project. This is the psychiatric self-therapeutic multimedia project to solve the problems, challenges, and obstacles in our lives, as well as a self-improvement process to reach the high goals and ambitions that we have set for ourselves, as well as those around us. If you like a brief introduction, a brief summary as to how we break down the Ahn Rho Project into domains of life, sub-series, analogies, and so on and so forth, you can check that out on the previous live streams. For the past 3.5 years, straight to January 2021 and beyond for more updated versions, including the copyright-free music, content live stream schedule, and how we divvy the 15-minute live stream into 3 phases and 11 segments. So that being said, dive into the second segment today as usual. Three things. First of all, there's going to be one live stream today. Secondly, this is Solve 850 override standing for System Override version 8.5. A rule to break all other rules, a system principle to free myself from the system, become purely practical, and get whatever most urgently needs to get things done. Sorry. And last but not least, of course, if you want to skip even this abridged introduction by about a minute and a half, just fast forward into the video on demand on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, where you're coming from. Thank you. For that being said, let's just get started on the content. So what you see is what you get to look on screen. Bunch of phase 1 items, my hands waving so you can see the backdrop. That's the phase 3. Phase 2 is more digital, it's information type abstract stuff, and then phase 2 is stuff that's more concrete and tangible components of life that you can actually see in reality. So that's a more engaging part of the stream. Phase 3. Phase 2, let's take a look on screen. We have a collage of items. You can see a lot of photography, videos, documents, there's some food as well as gifts and so on and so forth. So lots of storytelling, commentary over that kind of stuff. Let's begin here. Take a look over here. We see on screen the first collage, probably at the bottom right, an expansion. It's a continuation from yesterday's live stream, and what you see here is a bunch of stuff having to do with a shoulder strap that I've been testing out, alongside with kind of like sort of getting back into normal everyday attire. But underneath is hidden this kind of shoulder strap, body, protection kind of devices, and again having to do with the CPTSD and that I'm trying to overcome right now at the moment. And it probably will be for a while, but of course I've sort of found a way through this, and that has a lot to do with something that's in the title we'll get to in a moment. So there's a lot of stuff here that's just some photography about the getup, the setup that I'm wearing, the equipment. And so this is the previous day's stuff we didn't manage to finish, as well as the collages upstairs, up there at the very top right, and the left hand side is the bed. So we'll get to that. On the second collage we have all the stuff that's more recent, so you see the philosophy at the very bottom. We also see something to do with narcissism on the bottom right and left. We have some entertainment at the very middle, dealing with the new trailer as well as some news. We're not catching the news one by one anymore, we're just going to do it in a burst snapshot of maybe 5 different articles. We see some things having to do with, looks like inventory, and you see the cake at the top having to do with something as you received as a gift from a colleague at the workplace who had her birthday. So happy birthday to YR. She's an amazing individual. I really like the fact that she's just very understanding, and she's a very sweet person. Alright, with that being said, very top, we also have some voice recordings as well as a wrap up of business resources. So there's a lot to get through, and then this one on the top right is an expansion of photography of, once again, more gifts I received from a different colleague, ML, again, because I provided her with something yesterday. She probably felt obligated. I don't want her to feel obligated. It's just the whole point is we're just sharing food, but it seems like she gave me a lot, so I feel kind of guilty about that. Like, no, you don't have to give me anything. So we have some bars here and then some tangerines and clementine. So we're just sharing different interesting foods. I think next we'll get a persimmons, some fruit. She really likes fruit. And at the very top we have some stuff having to do with, like I said, documenting the realization that I had, in a sense, of mutual understanding at the workplace, as well as some more news and the project that I intend on passing over to my buddy at the workplace. So with that being said, let's get started. We have a lot of stuff. We'll start off with the class, with the phase 2 items here. So here's the recordings, and here's of course on the live stream. So segments 2 and 4. On the left hand panel we have some stuff here having to do with the conversation, like I said, I had with my colleague at the workplace. Happy birthday to YR, as well as ML, thank you for the gifts, and most importantly to TM for trying to get in touch with me still and being open with me. Postponed to later today, as well as a small session maybe on Monday afternoon. So we'll see what happens. It probably won't go down the way that we wanted to, and that's okay. But it's a much needed conversation. As well as you see in the live stream, it mentions that as well, 2-part plan. So that's kind of actually alluding to this kind of documentary stuff here. Let me kind of pull it up here. So here's some of the resources I want to showcase over to Actually, no, there's music. Never mind. I showcased it yesterday. So I guess I don't have to talk about this. But here's a part of the realization I had with my workplace colleague. Right, or really he's the owner of the business. So I wasted so much of my life watching my buddy over there be busy made me realize that there's no time to even say that I don't have time with my colleagues to emphasize the misunderstandings and overall what's the general, even all the narcissistic behavior that I've been surrounded by. It's like a realization that this shared experience will help the people, including myself, that of course everyone's gonna eventually one day run into a group of, if not individual narcissists who end up taking and manipulating you to your advantage, and you just have to stand up and so on and so forth. And it's pretty clear, there's no reason to presume that he doesn't understand, because everybody will, if they become healthy individuals at one point in their lives, develop to a point where we all have this sort of understanding. More so something stupid and negative, irrelevant, right? In reality, he's pissed off that I'm wasting his time, not that there's some sort of misunderstanding. I realize, what the fuck am I doing? Stop bitching and vying for attention to get him to hear out on the concern, so that you can sort of tell him what's really going down, because the fact is he already understands what's going down. So just focus on activities which are worthwhile. If so, then they'll just naturally be attuned to you in the future. But that doesn't even matter in the first place. It just matters that you guys all focus on something that's worthwhile, as opposed to all this negative garbage. So that's kind of the little excerpt there that I had. And it's like, oh shit, that's kind of, he already understands, most likely, more than and in fact he does understand. But it's like, I thought that they wouldn't understand what I'm going through, and it's like, nah, probably they do. That's all it is. So it's like, just forget about it and just move on. In fact, that's what would make them happier. That's exactly what they would want. Take a look over here. So here's some music that we updated here, as speaking of which, so we updated with something to do with narcissistic no contact, the cruelty of narcissism, and is it cruel to go no contact? I don't think so at all. The dual music, and as well as Oblivion, so rock band there. So we're updating a little bit of the previous playlist, and trying to tack on to that as I go on to listen and tailor it for every day or every other day. Okay. Alright, so that was segments 4, 5, 6, segment 6. So we have some meet from Instagram, so still reflections of school life. Not my stuff, not my shit. Alright, copyright notice, just go over the page. The challenges you face introduce you to your strengths by Epictetus, as well as the left hand side. It says this is more promotional stuff. Become a member of friends that are related with the school life and start saving today. So I'm not gonna promote anything. The point is, philosophy, whether it's the more kind of compassionate or understanding side versus the more disciplined and responsible side, both of these are played as the figurative mother and father in my lives, because I never had one proper throughout my entire lifehood. Okay, so that being said, let's get rid of that. Speaking of which, we move on to narcissism. So no contact. And I dropped by this video yesterday morning. Is avoiding relationship with narcissist cruel? I'm like, hell no. So I downloaded it, and I'm like, but it's good to have a thoughtful discussion about it, because I understand there's a lot of nuance to this kind of stuff. You can't exactly outlaw this kind of stuff for a variety of different reasons. Even narcissism itself is not necessarily, doesn't have to be bad. That you need a healthy amount of narcissism within each individual in order to stave off and fight off the negative aspects of life as well, or other people in general. Sometimes narcissism is helpful for that. It's a self-preservation behavior, right? So we have stuff here overall. Aside from that, there's also stuff I download. This one's not stuff that I downloaded, just a movie that passed by that I took a look at. Something to do with crime, I believe. And on this side, we have also another video where we saw there's like a trailer for, I believe, next season of Demon Slayer. So that's animation. So that's amazing. Look at that. That does not look like animation to you. That's crazy. That's like that Rush Hour 2 scene, Rush Hour 3 scene, I think. But it's actually animated. So it's crazy. Same thing here. So it's Demon Slayer 2 official trailer. So I'm not gonna go back into that. But that's what that was all about. In addition to that kind of stuff, we also have the fact that I was screen capturing, not just download, screen capturing the last few sessions. It's the home office tour of Human Health Sciences. So this is the business and research development for nutritional sciences, and that's just basically me downloading the last few elements, and by the way, saving it over here. You can see the documents, all the variety of files in PDF format, as well as the videos and I'm going to transfer some of these. I have double backed them, one side on a drive as well as on a laptop, and I'm going to upload onto 2 or 3 USBs and give it over to my business partner KW, which is amazing, and she's an amazing individual, so I do want to help her out. That being said, moving on, we have some news now. Neiman Marcus has notified 4.6 million customers about data breach. U.S. will no longer deport people solely because they are undocumented as North Korea escalates. Biden plays it cool, all that kind of stuff. And the one that was more interesting, scientists created the world's whitest paint, which could eliminate the need for air conditioning as it cools the painted surface more so than the exterior. It's quite amazing. That's interesting there. But there was some politics in there, obviously sprinkled about, and that wasn't that great. Same thing here. At least 116 dead in gang battle in Ecuador, so obviously this is not exactly fun stuff. Canada will be deciding whether to ban Huawei. Okay, obviously China manufacturers unexpectedly drop or whatever. Canada's top court to rule in Ontario's move to slash I don't know about that. And the message behind Russia's military drills. And so just a bunch of different things regarding news internationally, globally, so on and so forth. We have stuff here. Me capturing some inventory now, and so this is an Excel spreadsheet. Once again, you can see here the tangerine, 7 grains, Kashi brand, Nature Valley brand, peanut butter, peanut sweet bars, and then there's some cake. So basically this is the stuff that I received from my colleagues at the workplace. So happy birthday to YR. This is the stuff that she gave me, the 12 kind of that's 12 total on the bottom here. We have butter and chocolate marble cake, dark chocolate cake square. We have like a deep fried onion samosa kind of thing, white paper and plastic bags, napkins, and up here we have Nature Valley and Kashi bars. And I'm going to showcase you in the tangerines from my other colleague. So it's very nice here. Here's the cake. Here's a large ass cake that for the birthday girl YR. So happy birthday to her. And then she's like, thank you for your love and support. I'm like, Jesus. I don't know what to say, because I've been living 4 years trying to change a lot of her colleagues' behaviors, because she's one of the nicer ones. The other ones are definitely very narcissistic and vulnerable narcissism and grandiose even. So in a sense, I appreciate that. It's been kind of a long time coming, and I wasn't expecting anything, any reward or acknowledgement, but it seems to come anyway, so that's really nice. But life is cruel, so I was expecting that to never happen. Here's again that kind of crispy turmeric deep fried thing batter ball that she gave me, as well as on the side there you see the onion samosa kind of thing. Very nice. It reminds me of I can't remember what it's called. I used to eat something like this. It was served when I was in grade 2. We were trying different cuisines, so that's what it was for some sort of field trip. Okay, we have here. I can't remember what's called. It's really bugging me now. That's come up. I can't remember. It's like patties or something like that. But it's not a patty. Okay. Take a look over here. It looks like a patty. It's like a potato thing. We have here potato, carrots, onions, deep fried. We have this stuff here. If you know, just leave in the comments. We have this plastic bag. Once again, that's packaging all of these gifts here. The food, cake, and so on and so forth. And then over here we have the side. Nature Valley peanut, as well as 2 tangerine clementines, whichever you want to call it, Kashi brand, chia seed bars I received from ML. Once again, feeling a little kind of bad. I didn't want her to pay me back in any sense like that, but it feels like that's what she wanted to do. So I'm feeling kind of bad about that. And here's the ufotable thing having to do with the whole, Demon Slayer 2 trailer. So I think we're done everything about that. I just want to mention, segment 7, photography. So here's the bed on the side where you finally put the bed down with the pillow, and what we want to do with the bed sheets washed, and now put the blanket, and you see the blanket there too. So I'm going to take a photograph of this and capture it tomorrow. On top of that, so that's phase 3, but we also have to capture here. I forgot to mention, yesterday I was and I only finished capturing these like chicken wings and stuff like that from a class 2 Guardian. So here's at the very end, we kind of were rushing through this too much, so you can see the straps on right here, right? The phone recorder, the music player, the device with the back support straps on me taking off the shirt on the right hand side. You can see here the shoulder strap, the shoulder support, me in full body clad right here, just so you can see. It's hidden underneath that sweater because again, I don't need everyone to see that I have CPTSD. See here, once again, I'm just with my gloves here pulling off to the side and see the getup, and I still have that kind of almost masochistic thing, so you see that kind of like strap around my neck, and once again you can see the entire thing in collage form right here, so that's great. And this is all the content we covered yesterday, including the class 2 items and so on and so forth. That being said, let's end this live stream. I'll see you tomorrow morning. I gotta get to work, and signing out. Ciao.